Do you know what?
Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and in this video I'm talking to you about how to improve the sound of your HyperX Quadcast or Quadcast S. I'm going to be showing you various different things that you can do to improve the sound capture quality of your Quadcast to make it sound a lot richer. And I'm using the microphone now to do the voiceover for this video with some of the tweaks, so I'm going to show you what to do. The first and most important thing to do, if you can do this, is to get it off its mic stand and onto a boom arm. Taking it off the mic stand removes it away from any noises that might include keyboard and mouse clicks and other sounds on your desk that could otherwise negatively impact the sound quality. Also, getting it on a boom arm means that you can move it closer to your mouth, which then means that you can turn the gain down, which makes a drastic difference to the amount of background noise that it picks up and also improves the overall quality. You can see it here with the blue compass boom arm, which I've done a video on separately on how to tighten it and make sure it works with your Quadcast S, so check that out on the link in the description. But now I want to talk to you about the various other things that you need to do. So obviously getting it on a boom arm is the first step of it, but you need to make sure it's close to your mouth and facing the right direction. And that's a really important point, because this microphone is able to capture from multiple different directions, but in an ideal world you want to be talking into the front. That's where the logo is, so roughly here where that RGB is. Obviously this has the bonus that you also get to see the RGB a lot more and show it off on stream if you're into that. And obviously on the S, this is one of the nicest things about it. It's very fancy looking, it's very swish, and it will give you a nice calming glow on your face. Now, one of the other things to do is to make sure that it's in cardioid mode. So you have a polar pattern selector on the rear, and you want to select cardioid, which looks like a bottom or an upside down heart. And that is seen here. What that does is it makes sure that it picks up the sound from the front of the microphone and minimizes any other sound from the surrounding areas. Next thing to do is to go to the Microsoft Store on your Windows PC and download HyperX's Ingenuity software. This is a free bit of software that you can get from the store, and basically click and download that and install it and then launch it. And the reason to do this is to check for firmware updates. So open that software up, click on the settings in the bottom left and check to make sure that you have the latest firmware. If you don't, you should see a prompt that will let you know that and install it and then launch it. And the reason to do this is to check for firmware updates. So open that software up, click on the settings in the bottom left and check to make sure that you have the latest firmware. If you don't, you should see a prompt that will let you know that you need to download an update. Make sure you do that because it will improve the quality and make sure that everything's running as it should be. You can also go into the microphone sound settings from here and adjust things like the mic volume and video broadcast. download this free software and run through the steps for installing it. NVIDIA Broadcast essentially uses AI to reduce the background noise, and it's really intelligent software that means that you can minimize the amount of background noise. Once that's installed, it will launch, and you basically just need to select your microphone from the software. So there's a few different steps here. Essentially, go into the microphone tab and we find the Quadcast or Quadcast S again. You can see it listed as one of the microphones here. You can also see the effect of noise removal and the strength that's being applied, and you can test it in there. Now
it's
go
candy
back
what
into
do you do,
Windows sound
because
settings, and you need to change things.
I kind of have a job,
because
and
instead of having the mic set to the Quadcast in Windows sound settings, we now need to set it to NVIDIA Broadcast. So what you're doing is you're basically sending your mic through the NVIDIA Broadcast software, and then telling Windows that's the main one that you're going to be using for the sound settings. You also need to select a speaker setup, so we're going to choose Astro 50 because that's the headset I'm using. Make sure that's selected in Windows sound settings and in NVIDIA Broadcast. This ensures the sound comes through your headset correctly, as it should do when you're playing games and doing other things like streaming. So this little bit of software obviously will put a bit of extra pressure on your graphics card, and it doesn't work with all GPUs, so you need an NVIDIA one, and the more recent the better. But it does help to reduce a lot of the background noise and minimize problems that you might have. So if you found that turning the gain down isn't working for you, and the other things I've suggested, this is another option. You also have the option to use this through OBS as well, so it will eliminate some of that noise, and it means that you can improve the quality of your stream and the sound of your voice when you're doing it. So different steps. Go back into the sound settings, find the mic drop down and software. And run through the steps for instance. So that's the doors, the sound comes through. Noise removing, and to use video broadcast instead of the Quadcast. Improve the quality of your stream and the sound of your voice when you're doing it. So different steps. Go back into the sound settings, find the mic drop down and select microphone in video broadcast instead of the Quadcast, and that will then mean that it was then passing through, and you can check to see whether that's showing up and how much background noise is being picked up. And I like to use Audacity, and I'll show you why in a second. Running through broadcast, that isn't actually picking up any background noise, and you can turn the gain up in this way. So then you have in a second what's there. Then the selection, as a way there. This is obviously questions. Check out the description for more information, links that you might find useful. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, hilarious, or otherwise. Take a look at these other videos that I think you might find interesting as well. And have a look at the description for links and other information you might find useful. Click that join button to see the benefits of being a member of my YouTube channel. And most importantly, have a great life.
And for those that want to use a USB type of microphone, and does give you a great quality right out of the box. The sound that you're hearing right now from this microphone is absolutely with no VST plugins and also without any equalizer. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a free software they call Sonar from SteelSeries that's going to be able to make this microphone to sound like this, to actually sound like this with the equalization on in a background removal. So stick around and let's go with the video right after this. Hey, my name is Rodrigo. Welcome to the channel. So before we jump into Sonar SteelSeries software, one thing that is very important is where you set up this microphone is gonna make a lot of difference. The microphone comes with this part right here, which is attached to the microphone where you can put on the table, but it's going to be depending how you position the microphone far away from your mouth. So eventually, if you wanted to capture the sound, if it's the farthest from your mouth it is, the more gain you have to increase on the microphone. which leads to a lot of background if you have a lot of background around you, and also it leads to a lot of noise in your keyboard. Those microphones are very sensitive, so you need to make sure and watch for that. The other thing is I highly recommend it to use a boom arm like this to attach this microphone and be able to put close as possible to your mouth. This position right here that you see is kind of comfortable, it's not on the way. Some people like to put this a little bit up. I think this position right here is really good because it doesn't stay in the front of you. And then this is gonna help you to sound way better, this microphone. Definitely is not an XLR type of microphone that you need to have a very close to your mouth, but I think this amount of position and close for about one hand is great enough. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Sonar SteelSeries software. Alright, so you're right here in Sonar from SteelSeries software, and for you to download, I'm